Alright, so I'm gonna be talking about Welcome to Derry. This is a show. I've been sitting on this video for a hot minute now. Probably like about 2 to 4, probably like a whole month by now, actually. I've just been slacking a lot, and I just wanted to make this video. This is actually my second time making this video, or attempting to make the video, because I scrapped the last one just to make space and make space, because video games take so much space right now. Anyways, the gameplay doesn't really matter. I'm just stacking clips, or these are some old clips that I had stacked, and hope you guys enjoy it. This commentary. But anyways, I want to talk about like the deeper meanings in exoteric or esoteric, either one of those. Um, Essentially, the stuff that they have hidden, and it comes in real quick when it comes to Welcome to Derry, this show. Uh, Even like in the second episode, and I think there's a deeper meaning, hidden message. For me, something that I kind of believe in is that people who tend to see things like have schizophrenic or like some type of mental illness like that tend to be more open to the spiritual realm. That's not to say that all of them or like everyone is has that type of ability or like special in some sort of way. Because I do understand that it can be detrimental to somebody hearing that. It's not. I don't believe it should be encouraged, but at the same time, like there is some hidden truth to it. I do believe that some people do see things that are there. It's just not necessarily in our plane of existence, I guess I could say like that. Uh, I would like to think of it as like Berserk, where if you're a fan of Berserk, obviously, you would probably understand a little bit more. That is, if you're actually somebody who thinks deeper than what's literally shown to you, right? Like some people can only understand what is presented to them at face value, while some others can think things through a little deeper, which is something that I like to do. I don't really like just watching shit just to watch it, right? Like I like to dissect it and go deeper, have a deeper understanding of stuff, and that's what I basically what this video is about. And going back to the thing that I was saying is like in the Fantasia arc for Berserk, if you're of course uh, well well aware of the series, uh, essentially there is a guy named Femto. He's basically like a demon. He was a human that became a demon, and essentially what he did was he merged the mythical world, or like the mythical aspect of this world, like would be like ghosts, like uh, think of like mermaids, other types of demons, and like shit like that, right? And he basically merged it with our world, which in real world it would be like the human world, like us right here in the 3D, I guess, if you want to call it that. And that's basically what Derry is in a sense, and what they can see. Like the guy named Dick that was working for the government, he was able. His plotline is basically that he's able to see or sense other things that others can't, which is why I say that. Like people who have schizophrenic in a way, and it's kind of like hidden in plain sight. Of course, like not everyone's gonna believe me here. Not everyone's gonna understand. If it's meant for you, then you're gonna understand it. But if it's not, then just take it with a grain of salt, I guess. Do you, I guess. But uh, there's just like so much hidden meanings, and I think one of them is like when that being the clown, right? Uh, when he traps you, when you're like sitting there and you're like paralyzed, you're like in awe, whatever. That's basically in our terms in our world would be like fear, right? The fear that's sticking you, like that's keeping you in place, that's not letting you move along because of whether that be in a relationship, maybe you don't want to move on because you're stuck with somebody, or you feel like you can't live without them, or shit like that, right? And it goes deeper than that. Like that's obviously just a one aspect of it, because I feel like, well, for me, Black Sabbath comes to mind, where um, Heaven and Hell. That song is really like it's a really good song, and it kind of explains what my philosophy is, I guess, in terms, or like Stairway to Heaven, where it says words have two meanings, and I feel like that correlates with the Bible and a bunch of other stuff. It could be taken literal and also figuratively in like different aspects. Uh, and that's kind of just like how I view life, in a sense. I like to go back and forth with some of the stuff. Um, Again, like I'm not gonna make this video as well as I wanted to. I had a whole fucking idea planned out and shit, but I just, I kept putting it off, and I'm just stupid because I don't really script my videos, so I'll kind of just yap. But if you guys understand me, hopefully you do. And another thing is like, my thing is like everyone, specifically the masses, a majority of the masses of the world, I see them as that fucking the officer, the military dude that was in charge, thinking that he knows what he can do. Like he basically tried to revive it so that he can kind of use them and control it, right? But without understanding what it really does. And to me, I see that as people who joined a satanic, like who believe in Satanism and Luciferianism. Because to me, in the end of the day, I see it as like them being manipulated in a way to thinking like Luciferian. They're not one and the same, right? I definitely believe that they're one and the same. It's just like uh, it's just a way that they present it to people, or at least the masses, right? But they are literally, in the end of the day, if you fall into the rabbit hole, like you're gonna see that it's kind of like bullshit. Like they definitely aren't what they say they are, right? Like, uh, sure you can say Lucifer basically is a light bringer and he tries to bring more clarity to the world, but at the same time you can argue the opposite as well, right? Like it's just a trap to entrap people into thinking that they're a lot more than they really are. Like I do believe to some degree we are kind of gods, the whole philosophy of that, but not in the way that you think. Like I'm not saying like, oh, you can just move mountains, right? There is an aspect to it. Like if you go inside your mind and you're able to do stuff that you wouldn't necessarily believe in. Like if you don't believe in yourself, obviously you're not gonna do shit. It all really comes down to belief. And when I say belief, I don't mean like belief in Jesus or in the Bible. It doesn't really have to be that necessarily. Like right, like I'm not gonna force people to believe in the Bible or shit like that. But when I mean belief, I mean like if you genuinely believe you can do something, like if you really want to go and be a YouTuber or a streamer, you can definitely do that, but it's gonna take a lot of work and you're gonna have to believe that the outcome will happen no matter what. Even if it takes years, takes months, you just keep at it, keep grinding, nose to the grindstone type of shit. And I just like okay, well I'm going a little bit off topic, but essentially what I'm saying is like people who believe in that Satanism and shit, or basically people are under this delusion that they have knowledge that they don't exactly understand, but really all they do is like watch, maybe especially right now, right? Because of the whole Epstein thing that happened, and they believe that they know a lot more than they do. But a lot of us have been on this shit for many years, and there's always those people who grift, uh, who just pretend like they know more than they do, but reality they're just now getting into it. They would say like, because like even I know some people personally who were like, as soon as that whole Epstein shit like happened, they would always say like, oh, we knew this shit was happening, right, for a long time. Like we all knew this was real, and their cop out would be like, oh, we knew this was real, but we just didn't want to say it out loud or something like that, right? But in reality, they were the first ones to fucking shit on us for trying to spread the truth, even years before the whole files came out, whatever. And even then, like they're still the first ones to worship like sports or like movie actors, like that's another thing, right? Like you shouldn't be worshiping. This is why I say they basically are the military officer from Welcome to Derry, because they believe they know more than they are, and they believe that they're higher, that their choices is the only way, and the way that they see it is the only way to go when it comes to life. And that's not really it. Like you see at the end, like it always comes and bites you in the ass because you think that you know more than you really do, and that's what always happens, right? Like he ended up dying and a bunch of other shit, whatever. But when it comes to the kid, obviously you can correlate that to Epstein and shit. Like all the fucked up shit. If you've been keeping up with the files and watching like videos, whether it's TikTok or whatever the fuck it is, then you know that these people believe in deities like Moloch and sacrificing children because they're pure of heart, right? and that pure of heart gives them more power because they're sacrificing them. I mean, you've heard the stories. They skin them alive. They fucking put boiling water on them, which is all fucking. It all boils down to like torture method that they used back in like the Renaissance, I believe. I mean, that's probably not the right era, but you get what I'm saying, right? Like during the whole Inquisition shit, they were torturing people, and it's basically the same thing. The only difference is that they were torturing under the guise of like the Crusades, like Jesus, whatever, his teachings, right? But in reality, it was all well. For some of you, you probably understand like the whole fucking Round Table, Knights of the Round Table, whatever the fuck it was called, Knights Templar. They were actually Satanists, right? Pretending to be Christians just so they can kill people and sacrifice and pillage or whatever the fuck. And again, that it goes back to Berserk because that's this essentially they're essentially what apostles were in Berserk in the story of Berserk. Uh, and it doesn't necessarily mean that they're all doing the exact same thing, right? Like you have people like Wild and the Count who are basically like just sexual deviants who like raping and having control. But then you also have people like shit, who was the fucking Minotaur looking guy? Damn, I forgot his name. Uh, I feel really embarrassed. All right, well then you have people like Zod, motherfucking Zod. I don't know, I forgot his name, but you have people like Zod who doesn't really dwell into any of that deviancy. He's more of a grounded character where when he was alive, you know, before he became an apostle, which is basically a demon in that world in Berserk, uh, what he was he wanted to be a knight, you know, a fighter. He just wanted to fight the strongest people, and that was his. He was a gluttony for combat. That was his, I guess, sin that he would, you know, really delve into when he was alive. And you know, like when you become an apostle, or in this case for Griffith, he was a he became a godhead member for him because obviously he's a higher being than the rest. Uh, so his shit was just having more control, more power, being able to manipulate people, and that's essentially what he did. You know, he became leader of Falconia. You know, he had his own kingdom, which is exactly what he wanted. And essentially, when you become an apostle, you just guarantees it expands your power to achieve those goals. So obviously, people like Wild were a sexual demon, and he would just go around pillaging people. He had his own crew, and he would rape and murder a bunch of villages. And that's essentially what it boils down to. You know, like
I actually fuck with this song.
when it comes to that.
I don't know if you can hear it.
And I mean, I could just go on and on. I wish I'd really made video. Like I had so many things, and every time, every fucking, because I've been putting this, like I said, I've been putting off for almost a month. And every time I would have a
I
break
got
or
copyrighted
a
by
time to relax, whether I was in the shower, whether I was eating, I was just thinking about these ideas and just putting into a video. And I really just wanted to talk about shit like this for the longest. And now that you know the shit like the files that came out, I feel more inclined to even talk about it than I did ever
Please be
before.
careful.
And I have made videos like this before as well. But I just wasn't able to
Almost
really
there.
talk about them just because every time I would, it would just be a bunch of people who didn't have an open mind, right? And I kind of let that get to me, sadly, because you know people would just be like, "Oh, you're fucking delusional, or you're crazy, blah blah blah, or you forgot your fucking meds, or schizo posting when it be IG." By the way, follow me on IG, same as the channel. I do have a lot more stuff. If you look at my repost, you will find some of the answers that you're looking for. Sadly, I did again. I say this like every other video. I lost my original account because somebody spam reported me. Uh, Whether that's because it was
Damn, I'll scream.
the current situation that's going around the world, a certain group, a certain people who are trying to take over land. Or talk about stuff like that, you know, deeper, esoteric, whatever the fuck it is, whichever one of those it is. And you know, people just didn't like it, right? And they didn't like the truth. And even talking about like the elites sacrificing children, like I was talking about all that shit way before it was popular. And I know it probably sounds like I'm grifting right now, but I have no reason to lie. Like I'm not these fucking losers online who's jumping onto the bandwagon just because it's popular right now. Like I'm not that type of person, right? Like I'm talking from the heart here. There's a reason why I'm talking about these other shows and trying like correlate them to each other just because I do know what the fuck I'm talking about, right? I'm not here just talking about mute points or like shit that other people are talking about, and I just really hope you guys understand me. Anyways, I'm gonna stop talking about it. Uh, I'm running out of time. It came out longer than I needed to, that I wanted it to, but hope you guys did enjoy it. And with that being said, let me know your thoughts down below. What else you want to hear? And if you guys want me to check out another show, maybe give her a deeper dive into it, my thoughts, let me know down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out. Deuces. Have a wonderful day.